Good morning from Narai Juku. And as we kick this off, I want to start by giving a massive thank you to Annette Anderson for kicking off the super chats before the video even went live. And Kirsten for kicking off with an insanely kind super chat saying, if it's open this early in the morning, the dragon ceiling in Chosenji was a highlight of our visit last fall. For gas, highway, and continuing adventures, wishing everyone an awesome day. Thank you so much for that. Huge love and appreciation for getting things rolling. This is the final official live stream, the final morning of 1 million seconds traveling through Japan. Also, huge love to Cherry, also Cherry in here for such a kind and beautiful super chat first thing in the morning, as well as Kyle be back saying, Ohayo Norm, here's a little something to help get you back home. I remember your earlier videos on post towns made me want to visit one. This will make me want to visit even more. Arigato for past, current, and future adventures. And Buzzin's Pet Rock saying, Ohio, looking forward to today's stream. Well, everybody, this beautiful space in front of us right here with the rolling mountains up in the background, this is Narai Juku. And Narai Juku was the 34th out of 69 total stations, post towns along the Nakasendo. And it was the second of 11 stations along the Kisoji. This is located in Shiojiri, Nagano, Japan. And today, let me go wide. Today, we are going to explore every nook and cranny of this place that we can. Starting with a story. So, many years ago, I came out here very excited. Very excited to see this place, Narai Juku. I couldn't wait. It had been a dream for years. I got here in the middle of the night, and unfortunately, unfortunately, got hit with torrential downpours and heavy rain. Got so bad that I had to give up. And so today, this walk here, this is our revenge. This is our comeback as we come and explore this area in detail. And finally, after some 3-4 years, get a feel for it. I want to start by see, it looks like there's a viewpoint up here, and I want to go check it out. Johnny Eastland, keeping that super chat ball rolling with kindness, saying, I've wanted to go to Narai Juku since coming across the Nakasendo trail video last year. I'm so glad the impact that this video has had on so many people. People have sent me DMs saying that they've walked it with their grandparents, that they've walked it with their children, that they were able to come and see it for the first time because they saw a video. And that means the world, so thank you so much. I hope I can still fit it in when visiting Japan in September. A small token to the Future Adventure Fund. Thank you so much for that. And this up here brings us to a space, let's go this way, where we can see the narabi, or the line of the houses, the way they're all lined up. And we are gonna have a beautiful morning. Sparky Santos in here as well with the super chat saying, happy to catch this pretty space. Oop. There we go. And Sasha in here as well. Sasha, thank you so much. Sasha saying, hey Norm, thank you for this trip and all the beautiful moments. I'll miss it, but I'm excited about the future. Well, each one of these trips, basically we've seen, just goes into building the future trip. Even on this adventure that we've had, we have come across so many spaces that I want to explore in more detail. And so I can assure you that this trip is merely a beautiful beginning to bigger adventures to come. And Haley in here as well, contributing to that current and future trip fund. Thank you so much, Haley. Really appreciate it, as well as Anthony. Anthony in here with a very kind super chat saying, hey man, thank you so much for all the content. All the live streams over the years has been a welcome escape from reality. I still remember the early ones where I could count the pixels, right? Oh, how I wish we could be doing these straight from my phone in beautiful 4K, but the technology will get there eventually. There it is. There's the sun has finally come up over the mountains, and we are going to walk this entire beautiful town this morning. I just punched in full zoom. This is what this space is all about. And Aja, I hope I said that right, says, let's keep it going. Thank you so much. We're gonna have such a wonderful walk today and do so much exploration in this. And this is also part of the Nakasendo trail. So should the signal hold, maybe we even venture out a little bit on the end. Now, one of the things that set me back this morning was, as I went to go out, there was a severe set of wind gusts. It seems to have calmed down now, but I had to set up a whole mic situation for this because the wind originally, the wind originally was so strong that there is no way that we would have been able to do this stream. There's no way that you guys would have been able to hear me. Luckily, in between these homes here, it seems to have calmed down quite a bit. I'm grateful for that. But as we walk here, I'm also just kind of trying to take it all in and enjoy it. Enjoy the space, enjoy the morning. Now, there's something rare in the mornings that we're about to see. And in fact, we started the stream with it. It's the cars that come through. Because when you've come here early enough in the morning, the streets aren't closed off yet, and the locals even have their cars parked. And so if you come during the day, you're a lot less likely to see any cars coming through. And Bald VODs saying, what a charming street. Gozaimasu. The charming dude. Yes, that gentleman we just said good morning to is a charming fella. And another very kind chat from Michael Yoshida. Michael, how you doing this morning? Saying, many years ago, my great aunt took me on a hike from Magome to Narai Juku. This is totally, that is a long walk. That is much more than a hike. That is like a full day trek. How long did that take you? And chat, if I miss Michael's response on how long that took, please, please, please let me know. That is incredible. That I did the Magome Juku to Tsumago Juku area. But also off the sides here, we won't go too deep too early in the morning. There are all these little side adventures for us. But the area is gorgeous with the sun coming out like this. Absolutely loving it. It feels like we've walked 5 feet. And yet, this is what we've walked. With the locals getting ready for the day. The little K trucks coming through. And another very kind super chat from Renjamin saying, this has been an awesome adventure. Thank you for taking us along. Even got to bring my family in on the lives and it was amazing. Wow, that is, thank you so much for bringing people in for the lives. With a view like this, if you guys haven't given that like button some love already, please do so. Also, if you're brand new and you just stumbled on this, it would mean the world to me to have you hit that subscribe button. This is your official invitation to click subscribe. I would love to have you along. More adventures are just around the corner as well. And if you weren't able to catch this based on time zones and you're watching it after the fact, please do me a favor and leave me something in the comments. I would love to see you down there. And yes, to this day, I still read every single comment on every channel. And I don't mean like every channel on the internet. I mean like my channels. I mean like TOKYOLENS, TOKYOLENS Explorer, TOKYOLENS Shorts, Shamisen in Tokyo. I have a lot of channels. Did not realize that. When you like say it all in a row like that, it sounds like a lot. And HSN212 saying, hey Norm, glad to catch you again. Your videos always help me to find some peace while enjoying Japan. Enjoy a snack or drink on me. I 100% will. Thank you so, so much. This is officially day 11 of 1 million seconds traveling Japan. And I just can't help but continually punch these. Because as the streets wind up and around like this town is really meant to be viewed either with the naked eye or with a punched in lens like this. Sorry for the swooshiness, there we go. Every time we turn it around here, we get a car coming down this way. And yes, while it's sad that this particular adventure is slowly coming to an end, I have some news for you guys. Look at that. Oh, the birds flying around. Locals getting ready first thing in the morning. This place is visual candy. Every single section of this is gorgeous and picturesque. And so I am excited to let you guys know that in addition to this being the 10th video, there will be more. In fact, I managed to hustle so much on this trip that in this span of 11 days, We have produced some 20 to 21 videos total, including these live streams, which means there is at least 10 to 11 more to go. That's right. The regular releases of content will continue. And wow, Chelsea in here, thank you so much for yet another kind super chat saying very happy to be able to catch this final stream. My partner and I love hiking and exploring, so all these streams give wonderful ideas of places to visit. Well, I am glad you feel that way. And I'm glad that I could, this is probably usually on this adventure, the majority of the places that we have stopped by have been very minor, off the beaten path, often hidden locations. This is probably the most major location on the entire adventure so far. Also, if you haven't already, give that like button some love, guys. But this is most certainly the most major adventure, well, the most major spot on the adventure so far. And so it feels weird to do a whole bunch of off the beaten path, hidden locations, and then finish on something fairly major, but I absolutely had to make it out here. And can anybody tell me what this is called and what it's for? I'll give you a moment. Apparently the word is moment now. We're making things are changing. The English language is under our thumb. And cruel irony as well, keeping that super chat ball rolling. Saying, what a beautiful return to this town. Congrats on this series. It's been incredible. Someday, I hope to see the Shikoku or Kumano pilgrimages. Here's a little towards the next adventure. Thank you so much, Cruel Irony. It has been fantastic having you here for all of these streams, and I've really been enjoying it. Thank you so much, as well as Aiken, saying these are the views people going to Kyoto, I'm sure, are looking for. Thanks for this series. No, you're just trying to trigger me with the Kyoto thing, aren't you? I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. And yes, why would anyone go to Kyoto when there's something this beautiful? Kirsten, who kicked off this live stream's super chats along with Annette. Kirsten as well has followed a lot of the TOKYOLENS itinerary and has visited many of the places on our adventure. She's even gone out to the abandoned hidden campsite, which is just incredible because it is a drive, and she admitted, yeah, it was a scary and dangerous one, and there were a few points along the way where she kind of questioned her decision of coming out. But she's been everywhere. I'd love to hear Kirsten in the chat right now. Is, in your opinion, because I'm in Japan, I'm close to the content, is Kyoto worth it when places this beautiful exist? And Nicholas Ramage in here saying, enjoying the view and perspective sitting on your shoulder. And so I saw a few of them in the comments. Yes, this is a sugidama, and most commonly these are used for when the fresh sake comes out. These big, beautiful balls will be hung in full green above either the brewery or the sake shop or whatever it is. And that's how you know, oh, the freshest sake is now in. And a beautiful shot with the post office sign here. Absolutely spectacular morning views we're getting in here. And tea leaf in here as well. 20 plus Japanese words are now in the English dictionary. Huh. Sarah Catherine, also keeping things rolling with a very kind super chat here saying, good morning, Norm. Happy to watch your stream and show some support. What has been the most challenging part of your adventure? I'm going to come back to this one because I do not want Peregrine Watersploy's chat to disappear here. So Peregrine Watersploy says, me and my daughter Alice stayed at Lake Sua before climbing Mount Fuji in 2023. The area is missed by most tourists who say that, right? One of the streams that kind of kicked off this channel was going out and streaming in Lake Sua. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful space. You're 100% right. And so Sarah in there asking what the most challenging part of this adventure so far has been. And it's a toss-up between a couple different things. Number one has definitely been sleep. Setting up the streams, making thumbnails, making sure, you know, everything's ready to go for the next day has typically brought me to finally hitting the hay somewhere between midnight and 1 a.m. on most days. And then I'm usually up 4 or 5 for the stream in the morning. But if we're just doing this for a short time, it's completely manageable. But there have also been so many times that I've been out in the mountains that I have not been able to properly grab food. And so I've had to stock up on convenience store food. And so that when, for example, the other day when I went to Nagoro, the nearest like supermarket, for example, is 3 hours round trip. The nearest shop is 2. And the nearest shop is basically kind of like a kombini, but not really. And otherwise, just kind of more of a less physical and more emotional struggle has just been leaving each area. Because unfortunately, as I do all of this, I look into more and more stuff in each area and I keep finding new things. When we were in Wakayama, I did not want to leave that first day, and yeah, I would say around the first day, I found so much stuff. I found so much stuff that first day in that area that I literally could have done the remaining 10 days just on the east side of Wakayama. You guys have no idea how many gorgeous hidden gems are out there. And leaving them to get to the next area was definitely one of my struggles inside of there. And then here, we've got the tracks and the station is just a little bit down. But again, as I said earlier, this is kind of what gives birth to more and more of these adventures, is this struggle, me wanting to know more, me wanting to come back, see and do more. And so thank you so much for that kind super chat. I hope that answer wasn't too long, but there's another wonderful super chat in here from Alex. Alex saying, hi Norm, I'm seeing more videos about poor behavior from tourists to Japan. Are you experiencing this also? What do you think about this? Honestly, it's a topic that I've kind of avoided because it's been over talked about, but I've seen it even on this trip. While I was in Nagoro, there was a group of tourists. He's just walking around for the aesthetic for us at this point. He matches the area so well. Look at this. Look at that. He's literally just here for us for the aesthetic. And so coming back onto that topic, I will briefly touch on poor behavior by tourists. And unfortunately, even on this trip, I have seen it. The biggest, I guess I'll just give one example because there's like 5 or 6 I could give, but they're all basically the same. when I was in Nagoro shooting an interview with the woman who makes the scarecrow dolls that fill the city. Ohayou. I came across a group of tourists in the evening who drove out, and at first they're just having some fun skateboarding through the town, which, considering how narrow the streets is not obnoxious or rude, but is kind of dangerous. They're very narrow streets, and they were going down the hill on their boards pretty quick. But we're all here to just kind of live and enjoy the human experience and have some fun. But it was then that they literally started like climbing over ropes and going into like fields, like farmed fields, to be able to get photos of stuff. And I was not having it, and unfortunately had an unpleasant back and forth with them, being like, you guys can't be doing this. You can't be climbing into like the fields of people's home. Get the out, right? Like, yeah, what are you doing? This is obnoxious. It's like, you wouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this anywhere, let alone in another country. What? Oh, I was so perturbed, and like, of course, them being the type of people they are, just kind of laughed it off. Like, oh, okay, get the stick out of your butt, buddy. But like, if you're just crossing a rope into an area you're not supposed to be in, that's bad enough, and that's what's caused some of this problem. But like, literally, like climbing into somebody's like field like this, like a farmed field, just so that they could get like a photo of like a scarecrow when there's hundreds out on the road. And they're like, oh, I'm gonna climb through this person's field. Get the out of here, like, seriously. So all of you watching with kids, sorry about the aggressive language, but unfortunately, that is not the only time on this trip that I've seen it. I don't know what happened to the manners of people. Like, it was never spectacular, but there's a country slightly to the west and to the west and north of Japan that tend to be rather unpleasant. And there's also a country far to the south that sits deep in my heart that unfortunately comes to Japan, and a lot of them act unbelievably obnoxiously. And it's far too unfortunate, because it's starting to have negative impact on tourism in Japan, on just the overall Japan experience. It feels like a waste to spend this much time in such a beautiful area talking of such crappy people. And so we will move on. Michael Yoshida. In here again, Michael, thank you so much, saying, my favorite thing is all the yakisugi on the homes here. Also, it took us from sun up to sunset to do the walk. My great aunt took pity on me, and we utilized the bus for the steep section. Completely understandable, because you're full on climbing mountains between Narai Juku and here. So very kind of your aunt. Thank you so much as always, Michael. Huge, huge love and appreciation to you. Also, really enjoyed meeting you when you joined the Hunt Me Through Tokyo stream. So, if you guys haven't already, do me a favor, give that like button some love. If you're new, hit subscribe. Buzzin's Pet Rock in here saying, what was your best experience with Clueless Tourist? Oh, I've got a story like that. I have a Clueless, I love these birds so much. Can I give you guys a confession? I can never remember if these guys are called sparrows or swallows. That's it. And I feel like I've gotten it wrong every single time. But they're beautiful, and they're loved and protected here in Japan. As well they should be. Look at their wings when they're open. Swallow. Thank you. Tsubame is swallow. Oh. Utilize the power of the chat. There we go. More beautiful views down here. So I'm just trying to get it hold her stable. Okay. So I love that. Buzzin's Pet Rock, you have it's a fantastic idea. And you know what? Before we jump into that, I am going to respond to Once Upon a Garden's kind super chat here saying, thanks for being awesome. Your streams have been keeping me entertained while being sick. Well, I hope you get better soon. Can't wait to see what else you share. Everything else coming out, almost everything else coming out, is coming out in beautiful 4K and will be absolutely spectacular. So Buzzin's Pet Rock asked, what is the best experience I've had with like a clueless tourist? And you know, I don't want to say clueless, but I did come across somebody once, and this was long, long ago, who was very, very lost in Shibuya. You know, at this time we didn't just have iPhones, it didn't exist, and so I asked them, excuse me, where are you trying to get to? And they're like, oh, Asakusa. And I was like, oh crap, I live there, just follow me. And so as we chatted on the train, this person was like, oh yeah, I want to try this and I want to try this, and like half the stuff they were listing was just foods. Furthermore, half the foods they were listing you could just get at an izakaya in Japan. And I said, well, you know, there's an izakaya in Asakusa that has all of these things. Why don't we just go grab some food? And they were like, yes, let's do that. And we sat down, enjoyed an absolutely spectacular meal, and oh, that wind. And it was honestly kind of the highlight of my month that month, because it was right in the middle of a very difficult month. And so I cannot get past how beautiful these views are. And Randall Sadler in here saying, this is for the Norm Defense Fund for when you go after the obnoxious tourists. Thanks so much. There was a bit of a situation. I had sat down with some friends inside of a like a burger shop in Tokyo a while back, and this starts out as kind of an unfortunate and ends really, really positively. And there was this couple from an unknown country that I won't say, but you might be able to guess, that was sitting there with all this stuff from Disney, and they didn't have any food on the table, but the two of them were taking up a total of like 6.5 seats. It was just, looks like there's stuff back here for us to explore. My group asked if we could use up some of the seats, and they instantly snapped, saying, go back to your country. That was literally, and like all of us, like, were doing everything we could to like hold in laughter. We just asked if we could use seats, and they snapped and go back to your country. And I was like, what did, wait, is that not the literal definition of the pot calling the kettle black? Like, I literally live here, but I didn't say any of that. I was like, okay, I don't know how to respond to that, but there's two of you and like 4 of us, so we're just asking if you don't even have to give us the table. I see you got stuff. If you guys could just give us the chairs. And the female got really belligerent and incredibly racist. I could not understand why. They must have had a really rough day in Japan. That's all I can think. They must have just had a very, very rough day. And then I was like, okay, I'm done dealing with you. And her boyfriend came up and was like, why are you talking to her this way? And I'm like, why am I saying I'm done talking? Because she's being very unpleasant. I was like, I'm not dealing with this. And long story short, I talked to the guy, I was like, listen, you guys don't need this stress. I don't need this. None of us need this stress. I was like, my name's Norm. What's your name? He's like, I'm not going to tell you my name. I'm like, that's fine. You don't have to tell me your name. But we also don't have to have this. Like, we just asked if we could borrow some chairs. I was told to go back to my country. It's a little cold there, so I think I'll stay here. But we don't need this stress, man. I was like, look me in the eyes, shake my hand, go have a good day, enjoy your time in Japan. And like, I had to say that 4 or 5 times before finally he gave up. He shook my hand, He like low-key apologized and they just left. And this is where the story got really beautiful. One of the staff from the shop came up and said, pick something on the menu, it's on me. And I was like, what? Why? And he's like, they've been here for 3.5 hours. They've started arguments and lost us several customers. He's like, and you just put your hand on the guy's shoulder, smiled, and gently argued with him until he left. And I'm just so happy to have him gone. Please pick something on the menu. It is on me. And so it was not something I was expecting in the least. So I just grabbed a drink and it was a good day. So, but I don't know what happened to them before that, but they must have had a very, very rough day for all of that to like come together. So Worm in here saying, love you, Norm. Thank you so much, Worm. And an insanely kind super chat from La Limon. I'm hoping I'm saying it right every single time. Saying for some good fortune on your way home. Thank you. Thanks again for giving all of us some of the most memorable 11 days of travel. Love how much you respect the people just living their lives and the beauty of the area. Well, it's hard not to love it. You guys have been here. You've been along for the ride. You can see how beautiful it is. Steps also, some are like new wood, some are old wood, semi-inconsistent. I'll give them a 5.739 and 2/4 out of 10. And JZM, who coming in with the classics, how are you doing? Saying for the coffee fund and to say thanks again for the videos and streams. JZM, thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you always being here and keeping that super chat ball rolling. Chris Lessard, how are you doing, my man? We've had some nice chats over the past couple of days, haven't we? I never knew what falling in love was like until I met you, Narai Juku. This was the perfect way to cap off this adventure. I cannot wait for the next one where we go for 1 million adventures. That would be insane. That would be absolutely crazy. But I do want to share something with you guys in just a moment, because I said that this would really just be the beginning. And I mean it, because this channel here, and as I said, you guys kind of have the ability to contribute a bit to this, because this channel here, TOKYOLENS Explore, is about to cross over 100,000 subscribers within the next month or so. Look at this view. Just like coming back into the post town from the shrine. Spectacular. And by simply giving that like button some love and giving this the subscribe button love if you're new, you get us there. And when we hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel, that means we gotta celebrate. And if this 1 million seconds traveling Japan adventure has taught you anything about how I like to celebrate, it means we're probably gonna be adventuring a bit more. I had originally considered 100,000 seconds across Japan, but it turns out while 1 million seconds is, 11.5 days, it means that 100,000 seconds is, well, it's a day. It's not even a road trip. So I think that we'll come up with something, but thank you so much for always being here for it. I appreciate it. And let's get back right into the town here. And Alexandria saying, loving the story time. Thank you for sharing. Alexandria, thank you so much for always being here for it. Games Deathmatch, how you been? Saying thanks for the videos, as well as Iken, who's like always 100% guaranteed. I don't know how you do it. Doesn't matter what time I stream, you always seem to be here, and I love you for it. For the waterproof shoes fund, absolutely. Thank you. And Shaylel, I'm so sorry I'm butchering the name every single time. Saying thanks for telling us your stories with your walks. What is the best day? What is the best way that you relax. She Lei Li. There we go. She Lei Li. She Lei Li. She Lei Li. There we go. Thank you. You see, you knew I was going to struggle with it. You put it in there. What is the best way you relax after a long day? It's kind of a tough one. Because I don't know, is the wind okay? Like, is the mic actually holding up? Because I've got a considerable headwind right here, and it's just like blowing right into my face the entire time. And I find myself worrying about the audio. But that being said, Shileli, I can't even hear the wind. Fantastic. I added a little mic today just because this was going to be a concern. Had I not gone back, we were all set up and ready for the stream. We were ready to go. And had I not come back and grabbed the microphone, we 100% would not have been able to hear any of this stream. And unlike the stream over the bridge, I actually remember to connect the microphone this time. So, best way to relax and unwind after a long day. Well, usually I have done so much within my day that when it comes time to sleep, I just absolutely crash. I used to play games, but lately I just don't have as much, like, you know, it's the time. It's like, you know, sit down, get the game ready, turn it on, wait for things to load. I'm just like, never mind. I'll just do something else. And so I think one of my big ones has been spending a lot of the last year kind of getting back in touch and connecting with, chatting with friends and family overseas. You know, the pandemic made it tough to, you know, look forward to seeing people, but since I get to go back a little more often now, I find myself like speaking to these people more often now as well. I come from a big family with a whole handful of brothers and sisters, and spending time on the phone with my brothers or my sisters or my friends back home is kind of like my cool down at the end of the day, or sometimes in the midst of a stressful day. So thank you so much for asking. And archaeologist Alex saying the Nakasendo vid was the first I saw on your channel and helped me summon the courage to travel solo for the first time to Japan. That is incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is amazing. Well, congratulations. How was the trip? And Worm in here saying, I'm a hospice nurse and these intimate walks are quite therapeutic. I'm glad to hear it. And for the miscellaneous fun, thank you for taking us with you, Anthony. Thank you so much for being here with it. It's been fantastic. As well as Crazy in here saying, when I finally make it back to Japan, I'd love to have you join me for a camping trip. If only I had the time. I'd love to do like a big group thing sometime, but oh man, do schedules get tight. And DB Carey in here saying, thanks for the adventure. My older sister was born in Okinawa. Family moved back stateside before I was born, but I would love to visit. Thanks for making a stressful week less stressful. Thanks so much for being here for it. And Orville Esoi, did I say it right? Saying, for your next Konbini break, thanks for sharing the walks. It's been a good time. Eating lots of Konbini food. I think I've put down more Konbini food during this adventure than the rest of my time in Japan. It's been worth it. And Tea Leaf in here. Tea Leaf, thanks so much, saying, went to the ice village in Hokkaido in December and almost died in a blizzard trying to walk to the glamping site. Worth it though. Always call for a ride. Yeah. I had one or two of those situations where I probably should have just gotten a ride. I probably shouldn't have done the walk. But I'm also excited for all of you who love the Nakasendo walk. I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag and say I'm excited that I got to do another small section of about 45 minutes of the Nakasendo yesterday along a gorgeous cobblestone path. And I cannot wait to share that one with you as well. Again, we in total over the past 11 days have managed to put together some 20 plus pieces of content that will all be coming out as the days and weeks go on. So as we get down here, I feel like it's worthwhile time for another punch in. There we are. It feels like we haven't had that many cars come by, but every single time I punch in the camera, we seem to be getting cars. 100,000 meters along the Nakasendo? Oh God, no. It's so long. This here, tiny little K car. The Daihatsu Mira, the cheapest car in Japan. I've got an entire video about that cheapest car in Japan, cheapest tiny car in Japan, because you know it's all about the tiny stuff, on the main channel. I'm telling you, I gotta stop zooming in. It's just being zoomed in attracts the cars. And Natsukash History saying thank you for these beautiful, amazing adventures. It's always super fun traveling with you. I am glad that you enjoy it. Dave Arthur as well saying, after visiting Japan in December, I'm learning Japanese so I can communicate better when I go back. Your channels keep me excited for when I can return. That is fantastic. And I can always tell a Nissan, like electric. Yep. The Leaf. The roar of the Leaf's electric motors as we come through here. Also, I just want to give a non-sponsored shout out to one of the other MVPs of this, which is iVideo, who has been kind enough to provide all the backup Wi-Fi so I could get things uploaded and, you know, have backup for the streams and everything like that. They provide all of that to me, and I take no money from them for any shout outs or anything like that, but I do want to give full disclosure that they provide those, and I still think that they're one of the more affordable options for Wi-Fi and eSIMs when you come to Japan. In fact, every time I go overseas, it's just become my like default provider to grab eSIMs and whatnot from. I did videos on them years ago, and I get a lot of questions on whether or not I still use them. Ooh, the answer is yes. Wonderful. And as we enjoy this music, a beautiful super chat in here from Don M saying, I definitely plan on going back to hike the Nakasendo. Can we get a walk along Matsumoto one day? The Japanese Alps are a thing of beauty. They truly are, aren't they? Sendo right here. Heading back in this way. I had done on our previous adventure, one of my last video shoots was actually the Matsumoto Castle, but I like to do these all as one long take. And the Matsumoto Castle had all these sections where they're like, put on your shoes here, take off your shoes here, put on your shoes here, take off your shoes here. No cameras here, cameras okay here. Don't record in here. You can record, but just don't look at the floor. You can record, but please don't hold the camera upside down. You can record, but please speak backwards. And there were just all these different sections along the way, and I ended up being like, okay, well, this is like 45 clips, and it is not. By the end, I was just so frustrated, and I was like, this is not going to be a fun experience for anybody. So I never released that one. It just kind of went into the archives and sat there quietly. So, an epic thief in here saying, thank you so much for taking on these magical walks. It's a blissful moment, captured forever. I love coming back to these whenever life's feeling gloomy. I'm glad you feel that way about it. Again, just every single corner we come around. I'm hoping that this is not becoming an invitation for a car as we do this. Maybe there is a car in the shot. But I had considered doing this considerably later in the day. Like maybe, noon or something like that. But I also wanted to kind of show the love to the schedule. We've had a fairly consistent schedule for what time we've been doing these, and I wanted to hold to that so all of you who have kind of built this into your routine knew what to expect. But also, I am finding myself very curious about how busy this place gets, because even the quieter areas, I've been worried that on this trip we might just have too many people. Like, we might not have access to that quiet Japan that I love so much. But it turns out that as long as you are sticking with your mornings in rural areas, we still get quiet, gorgeous, peaceful mornings. And today's the day that I start heading back to Tokyo, which just feels so quick. Like, it feels like I was about to zoom in, and guess what? I'm telling you guys, each of these streams has had its sub-character, and today's sub-character is the zoom calling in the cars, the summoning. We'll call it the summoning. And manhole cover. Yeah, let's go take a peek at the manhole covers in here. Oh, the wind. What do we got here manhole cover wise? We got some fish. We got fish manhole covers. Any Pokemon manhole covers there? I do not think so. But you guys could probably Google that and find it. If there are, might be worth hunting them down. I'm just looking forward to something opening that has food. And after the super long drive from yesterday, only having to drive about 2 to 3 hours out here was also really nice. Really happy about that. And there we go, just trying to... And Worm in here saying, how is all that beautiful woodwork preserved, right? I know a lot of it gets rebuilt, but how it's all, like a lot of it, and I mean a lot of it, does get completely rebuilt. And guys, I see a tunnel and a stairway, and it feels like the kind of thing we have to do. Keep an eye on signal for me. We should be fine, but just in case. These stairs, for initial presentation, will get about a 4.2. They have flowers at the bottom. That's where the 0.2 comes from. Otherwise, they just would have been a 4. As we get higher up, I always worry that, okay, we might lose signal as we get kind of into the forest and the mountains and whatnot. But anything is better. Wow, these stairs are actually, you cannot tell, but these are really, really tall stairs. Like each one, I'm having to do a near full 90 degree, okay, not close to that, but quite a knee bend to get up these. And yes, a lot of the wood has been burned and scorched for presentation, or not presentation, preservation. English, Norm, English. Narai Juku down there. There we are. We have a shrine up here. Okay, let's take a slow look around. We've got all the, this is a sugi-based area with our sugi-damas. Our sugi-damas, those sake balls we saw earlier, and all the yakisugi. Here we are. Let's try not to slip off the edge. And up we go. See what kind of view we get from the top. It's okay-ish. I've seen worse. And yeah, this tori has seen better days. Every now and then, when exploring abandoned villages, we will find a tori gate that is in about 200% worse condition than this. Like just part of the leg has fallen off. Might even be completely knocked over. And Dennis in here keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, thank you for making the last Narai stream, Narai Juku. I've been talking so much over these 11 days. It is slowly murdering my throat. We're doing good. Oh, it is really epic. Looking forward to videos on the main channel. What is your top 5 foods at the moment? I am not really a foodie, so I feel like I'm gonna give a really disappointing answer. Top 5 foods. I love crab legs. I guess that's one place I've got some love. Anything Mexican? Love Mexican food. Cheap sushi. Like fancy, expensive sushi? Nah, I want it in volume. Cheap sushi. What else do we got? That's 3. I eat a lot of chicken, but that's just kind of me. I recently learned a beautiful recipe on how to make salad chicken. And basically I poke a bunch of holes in it, add all the spices and flavorings and all this other stuff that I want. And then I kind of boil it in a bag. I don't even boil it, I boil the water and then I leave it in the boiled water, turn off the boil and leave it for like an hour. And you end up with this like wonderfully tender chicken breast and it's just fantastic. Is that 4? Oh God. Yeah, see, this is me struggling with food. I have no idea. You've thrown me for a loop with the food question. There are so many wonderful foods out there. It's just I tend to get on a rhythm and stick with it. So everything's good. We'll just say everything's good. Everything is number 5. Number 5 is everything. Does that work? Will you forgive me for that? And yes, is me in here with a very kind super chat as well. How are you doing today? So just got home and hopped into your stream. I miss what makes a post town. Here is to your Halls Fund. Thank you so much. So, a post town is basically kind of a post or stop along the Nakasendo trail in this case. So the Nakasendo post towns were kind of stopping points, and now it does kind of overlap because a post town could be translated as now a lot of them have a branch of the post office as well. They were kind of like if you were having something delivered, they were all numbered. And so, you know, post town number whatever, right? You'd be able to pick up your message or whatever, or, you know, this person is on their way to this post town, and the messenger would go there and it would get delivered. But there are also stopping points, resting points, points for food and refreshments and everything along the way, just kind of the major stops along the Nakasendo in this case. So, and Harry 1897 said, came back home from Japan the other day, so treat yourself to some onigiri in my stead. I miss it already. It's very missable. Very understandable sentiment. Does anybody else just have this, like, after you go back from your Japan trip, you just have like a couple weeks of funk? Like you're just like, oh, this is so, I don't want to say depressing, but I just miss Japan. It's like, and people are like, oh, you know, you'll experience that as a visitor, but it's not so great to live here. Screw that. It's amazing to live here. I guess anything is what you make it, though. And J Corp Mall in here with a very kind super chat as well. J Corp Mall, thank you so much for this. By contrast, this particular torii gate is in much better shape. Do me a favor, guys, give that like button some love if you haven't already. I'm gonna loop back into the town, but I also do want to check out some of the Nakasendo leading out from it. And what have we got up here? These stairs seem like they'll get a 6.2 out of 10. That seems reasonable for these. Got doves flying around in the morning. Got what very much looks like classic firehouse equipment as well. Like that there. Wow, yeah. Masa in here again. Masa, how you doing today? Great to see you in here. Masa with the kind super chat, keeping that ball rolling, saying, we'll give the like button some love, don't worry. Take this and give your throat some love with nice coffee, tea, or lozenge. Thank you for the adventure. Thank you for being here for every single leg of this, being in the chat and hanging out along the way. Also, I'm just trying to figure out my chat settings. I hope sometimes, so I've been like, I didn't realize the other day that I had accidentally turned on some weird setting that like was top chat or something instead of all chat. And I want to see all chat. I want to see everything coming in. God. This is a beautiful shrine here too. Shiojiri. Coming in from the side here. Keep out. YSLR is saying it really feels like we're having conversation with you. That is wonderful. I'm glad. I covered it once closer to the beginning of this adventure, but the TOKYOLENS Explore channel itself was started just to bring you along with me. It was started because during that time in the pandemic, nobody could travel, nobody could get into Japan, and there were a lot of people struggling with it, and it had gone on much longer than any of us thought it would. And so thought, you know what? I do these walks anyway. I do these scouting adventures. Why not turn them into streams and bring you guys along? And so that is what we've done. So thank you very much. And Peace Flower 102 in here keeping that super chat ball rolling as well. Thank you so much. While we risk cars, I think it's time for another punch in. Oh, look at it. And Bystrick in here as well. Bystrick, how are you doing today? It's very, very kind super chat you got going there. Jumping in after work, had to come and see the last day. Hopefully, I haven't missed any irresistible tunnels, terrible stairs, or tight squeezes in small spaces. We've kind of had all of those, but on the plus side, there's gonna be so much more. So don't stress it, don't worry. And guys, let's see if we cannot get those likes up to 700 likes within the next 2 minutes. Go nuts on that like button. Let's see if we can't get there. 700. Okay. Now I want to break off the side to this stream for just a second before we check out a little section of the trail beyond here. And Miles in here as well. How you doing, Miles? And the town looks stunning with no one around. Thank you for being a morning person that I could never be. No worries. That is why we do it. Get out nice and early. Enjoy it in its basal form before it evolves in the morning, in the early afternoon, and everyone flocks in. See a little train here. And Brenny D saying, sent a super chat, but it didn't appear. I'm so sorry to hear that. But thank you, and I see you. And I try to keep my eye on the chat either way. It's gotten a little tougher to respond to everything, but I see you in there. Tea Leaf, no worries. I wanted to say that if there are any trans women wanting to visit Japan, it's absolutely great for us there. There are so many multi-use toilets everywhere. What a great piece of information. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. I hope that that brought a bit of attention to it. Also, while the city is, the town is beautiful, just the sendo here, the train tracks. I just like the word sendo more than I like train tracks. I don't know. Sendo. So much nicer. And the sun has come up well over the mountains here. It's turned into a beautiful day, which is spectacular because last night we had some rain, I will tell you. Whew. Fell asleep. R. S-E-N-R-O. Sendo. Sendo. And if I could guarantee a connection, oh, how I would love to bring you guys along for like just a long train ride somewhere. Wouldn't that just be a blast? And we will head our way up this way. There we go. There we go. And we'll just try and give them a bit of distance. Let them enjoy their walk without me blah blah blahing right around them. Whew. There we go. And on each one of these walks, I'm very excited to let you know that we managed to get a rock in our shoe. Pretty much guaranteed every time. So, for those of you who are interested in hiking the Nakasendo trail, I have yet to do the Nakasendo walk from here. And so I figure, why not go and try and find where the route is. So there's a mountain pass about 2.3 kilometers from here. And we will walk with caution here. This should take us to the Tori Pass, but I need you guys to do me a favor and keep an eye on signal. There's Narai Juku down there. And Monique, keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, good morning, Norm. Keep hydrated. Monique, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And in here, Vidya saying, I need to say I appreciate you so much for being kind and considerate to people around you as you walk. Chat, you are amazing for getting into this chat, supporting each other. Yes, this, right? Like the chat all being so kind and supporting each other. There's something amazing and beautiful about that that I appreciate at a level I don't think that you can understand. Also, you know, you have to have a certain amount of self-awareness when you're walking around live streaming, because it's a normal thing. There are live streamers everywhere all the time nowadays. But I also know that other people are out here to enjoy their quiet morning. And if you have come out here this early in the morning and you are walking Narai Juku, you want the peace and quiet. You don't want some obnoxious guy talking to his phone right beside you as you're trying to enjoy a beautiful shrine. So just kind of trying to develop some form of self-awareness is an ongoing part of the human experience, that struggle in life. We fail more often than we succeed, but I'm glad that you got some appreciation for it. I found a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous beachside area with giant rocks about a week ago. One of the most beautiful places I've seen in Japan. Yes, I shot a bit of it to share with you guys. That will be in the main video. But there was a group of girls from a nearby country that were so unbelievably loud the entire time that I could be half a kilometer away and with clarity you could still hear their voices. And I was like, yeah, don't be that, Norm. Don't be that. And warm, no snakes or spiders or midgets. I thought it said magnets at first. All right, here we are. We made our way past I believe that that's a bit of a switchback there. And we just kind of circumvented it. But there should be a walk up here that will take us to a section of the Nakasendo. So, Narai Juku being this way, and the Tori Pass being this way. And again with this wind, look at this. I am so glad that I went all the way back and set up the mic today. You guys have, for all the things you're grateful for, I'm grateful for modern microphone technology because it makes all the difference. And I see a pathway here, but it's an unmarked pathway. It makes me wonder. Curiosity. I feel like we'll walk up just a little bit more, and if we don't find the entrance to the Nakasendo from there, we'll come back here. Usually the Nakasendo itself is actually going to be marked. And so when we find the entrance to it, there should be a sign that says Nakasendo. When I woke up this morning, it was freezing cold. It was something like 4 degrees this morning. And I did not want to get out of my sleeping bag in the camper van. But getting to do this walk with you guys, I am so glad that I did. And guys, I think we found it. Here we are. That is some Nakasendo vibes right there. Now, these bells here are for bears. If I ring it, it'll be loud. So I'm gonna leave that up to chat. Do we ring the dinner bell or not? What do we do? Stairs are back, yeah. There's ring and there's no, there's ring and there's no. Okay. And Canadian exchange rate isn't great, but love the videos of the walks in the channel. Thanks everyone. Thank you so much for keeping that super chat ball rolling. Okay guys, we got enough requests. We are going to ring the bell. For those of you, I don't know how loud it's gonna be because I've got a separate mic on, but we are going to ring this in. If you want to cover your ears, just in case, turn down your volume a bit, just to be safe. You've been given a heads up in 3, in 2, in 1, and a little less consistent than I was expecting, but it works. And now, as we head up these beautiful stone steps, okay, it started as steps, and now it's just a pathway. Now it is just a pathway. But considering our proximity to Narai Juku with this, I figured I should be able to bring you guys along for at least a little bit of the Nakasendo trail today. And so please, please, please help me keep an eye on the signal. If it dips and drops, let me know. And One Gun Dreamer, how you doing today? In here, keeping that super chat ball rolling. The beautiful level of kindness here saying absolutely beautiful. I've been loving the 1 million seconds walk. Looking forward to seeing the main video from these last 11 days. Thank you for sharing this with all of us. The thanks is all mine. Thank you guys for joining. This is a lot more fun than just completely doing it on my own. And this whole section is beautifully uphill. Oh. There we go. This just feels like a great way to grand finale-ize. That's right, I made up that word. Grand finale-ize this trip is to come out and actually walk with the Nakasendo together. It is a nice incline, keeps us healthy. And we need to keep talking in this section, and we need to keep talking with some volume. So, and Alex in here with another super chat saying, interested to know how many steps you tallied over the last 11 days. I'm gonna go ahead and say 1,000. Probably more, because when you guys see the special mountaintop video of me climbing to the top of a mountain, you will be like, wow, he did all that. And here we are. So it says, I'm just gonna translate this for you guys, for those of you who cannot read Japanese. It said, Winnie the Pooh is looking for honey, okay? And then here it says, don't carry honey, okay? I know these two honey characters are different, but it's a different type of honey. They just want to cover all the types of honey. No, it literally says, watch out, bears come out. Just be careful of bear sightings and appearances and all that. And Shiojirishi, this is the area here. It's the area that we are in. So here's kind of a peek at where we just came down from. And if the bear sign doesn't inspire you to give that like button some love and hit subscribe, I don't know what will, but we are hiking for the bears. So now you got accurate translations, everything you need to enjoy this walk. Let's keep it going. Yeah, we gotta hope that we don't come across a bear. I have yet to come across a bear on the Nakasendo trail, so that's a plus. I've come across other bears in Japan. I came the other night. I had to hit the brakes quite a few times as I was driving down a mountain road for deer and little tanuki and other animals, but luckily no bears. Like if I'm in the car, I'm not gonna be that bothered to see a bear, you know, I just drive away. You know, we probably weigh about the same at that point. Unless it's a big bear. I'm driving a K car. But look at this, guys. Such a beautiful morning treat to get to walk a section of the Nakasendo together. Absolutely loving this. And I'm turning into Yoda again. Grateful, ever grateful for this gorgeous morning walk that we get to enjoy together. How is the signal holding up? Because we're just straight into the mountains now. I would not assume there would be any signal out here. Are we still maintaining half decent, like, visual and audio quality? Said no potatoes, but is that no comma potatoes or no potatoes? As in, we're not potatoing. I told myself that I would see, are we, my chat has just disappeared. Oh, it's giving me connection warnings. running through the forest. That little hill was just a little bit too much for us. Kind of zipping back down the Nakasendo trail. Trying to rescue the stream. Hoping we don't fall as we go. We should be back. We're back over that little section of mountain that would have been giving us trouble. There we go. I promised myself that I would hike through the Nakasendo until we lost connection. And that is exactly what happened. I got the notification saying, hey, stream is disconnected. Please gain signal, reconnect stream. And I'm like, well, that's not a good thing. Also, chat just disappeared. So, also that run gave me like speeder through Forest Moon of Endor vibes. So if you're a fan as well, hope you enjoyed that. That's what it felt like. On my end, at least. There we go. I did jinx myself. I 100%, oh, this is so steep coming down. I'm not enjoying this. I feel like this is just like, it's a slip factory. Going up was easy because you can control that, but coming down just on these rocks feels unpleasant. Also, super excited to tell you guys that we have bit the dust pretty hard twice on this trip. The other day, I actually thought that I ended up with a fractured elbow. I was fine. It just severely swelled and didn't want to move properly for a while. Chris Lessard is saying, thanks for always saving the stream room. Chris, thank you so much for that. Appreciate you keeping that rolling. Yeah, it was pretty harsh. I was just like, oh, I'm fine. Like I stood up from it and I was like, oh, I'm fine. And I continued my walk. And I got back to the little K camper van and I was like, my sweater's stuck to my elbow. What is going on here? And I checked. It was stuck to my elbow with blood. And so got all that cleaned up and then the entire thing swelled up really heavy. It was just way too wet to be exploring the rocks and walking down steep rocky stairs and pathways. I thought we might be okay, but I was like, oh, we'll just continue the walk. We'll figure it out later. And then I'd say like an hour into my drive, I was like, damn, that arm isn't moving. Like it is really, like I can move it. I've got mobility, but I can't fully straighten the arm. This might be an issue. And then like 2 hours later, it was fine. And now I'm completely fine. So yay for quick heal. I'm glad I unlocked that skill. But the fun part is that actually gets to make it into the video, me biting the dust, and it's not the first time on this trip either. So there's not enough, oh wow, the wind. There's not enough for me to do like a super cut of me biting the dust, but, and Tom in here for your onigiri energy boost. Tom, thank you so much for keeping that super chat ball rolling. We're gonna head back this way, back into the town of Narai Juku and see if anything has changed. See if things have started to open up in the morning. See if we've got a couple more people and friends around to say hi to. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. And this also just feels, I forgot how steep this was. Coming, oh, see, we slipped a little there. We'll walk down, baby steps, just baby steps. I don't want to bite it anymore. it hasn't been fun. And while there's not enough to do a super cut at the end of the video of all the times I've gone down, there is enough to do a mini cut. Also, just this here. Can we just appreciate that for a second? Okay, totally worth it. See, wind we can handle. Anthony in here for miscellaneous first aid supplies. Thank you so much, as well as Buzzin's Pet Rock. Thank you too, saying, however fun it can be to see someone bite the dust, but I prefer if you stay healthy and unbroken. How is your finger doing these days? For those of you who don't know, I got hit by a truck about, I don't know, a year and a half ago, 2 years, almost 2 years ago now. And it really messed up this finger here. And the way the bone healed, which is, you know, the best that they could do, has made it so with this hand, I can do this. With this hand, if I push it, I can get to there. But it hurts and it doesn't fully close. I'm fine. But the next question that always comes up with that is, do you still play shamisen? And the answer to that is a resounding no. I'm thinking of doing a video on it. One of the big things is it's a painful experience for me now. And shamisen was always kind of like a relaxing moment for me. And when I've got when that relaxing moment is turned into something stressful, or I've got to figure out some other way, it's just, I'm surrounded by the world's best shamisen players, literally. I get to listen to shamisen every single week of my life. I get to record shamisen every single month. I get to travel the world with shamisen players. Trust me, I am okay. So, that being said, Rowan, how you doing? In here saying, sorry I'm late. Wanted to tell you I finally started my photography business online, Rowan Water Studios. Bit of a shameless plug there, but we're in a good mood today. Wild, usually the mods, they're all over that stuff, but I'll let just this one sneak in. If it starts becoming a habit, people, we're gonna have to shut it down, but congratulations, I'm in a great mood today. There it is. It's a clever way to use a super chat, not gonna lie. But hey, we're here for it, right? We're all here just to support each other and have a good time. So thank you so much for that. Here we go, getting back into the area of Narai Juku. I keep wanting to say Magome Juku. It's not Magome Juku, but I want it to be. I also kind of wanted to, these first couple steps are just rocks. I also kind of wanted to I just want to do like a bunch of post towns at some point. It's because, just like live streams every day, walking the post towns. Feels like a thing that would be a lot less challenging than this. Also, just a second to enjoy some flowers here. Not Scary Steve in here saying, looking forward to seeing Key, or maybe Key, in London with you in July, Norm. Oh, it's gonna be such a good time. We are, and I stopped and I got the rock out of my shoe, and now I have a new rock in my shoe. It's always just one single rock. It's never multiple. It's never like a bunch of stuff. It's always just one single rock. And and can you walk from Edo to Kyoto? I'm not gonna do the entire Nakasendo. I love you guys, but I also love my sanity and health, and I feel like that would threaten both of them. And yes, London, July, Amsterdam, July. Super excited about these. Always wanted to go out there. I know a lot of you are from out there, and I think we're gonna have a fantastic time. All the information for the pre-registrations. If you want to come out and see a shamisen performance or even hang out and give me a high five, is going to be in the newsletter that is linked in the description box, as well with a source for how you can help us plan our next adventure. So feel free to come along and join the adventure at whatever format you want. Will you come to Italy too? I've brought the shamisen girls to Italy multiple times. I've been out to Italy for shamisen work 3, maybe 4 times. And we did the Festival del Oriente, if I'm saying that right. And it was a spectacular experience. In fact, going out to Italy kind of opened up my world and changed my life a little bit, because before that point, you see, as much of a coffee lover as I am now, my coffee loving has come in like segments, in sections. It was first no coffee, then it was just like coffee maker coffee. Then it was like, I want something better, so I learned how to make French press. And then it was like, okay, I'm gonna learn how to make a latte using French press to foam the milk. And then after being in Italy, I was like, you know what? I was speaking to a barista one day. He talked about all the work, love, and passion that went into him making the espresso that we drank. Because it was just no sugar in it, but it was sweet. And it was incredible. And I was like, how do you do this? And he's like, lots of time, lots of work, lots of practice. And he had so much passion about it that I ended up going back to Japan and getting myself like a cheap $100 espresso machine. And I've been playing around with that for years now. And here we are back into Narai Juku. Oh, love, love, love this town. Right? Every time we've zoomed in, it has summoned a car, but I feel like as we're getting closer to everything opening, as we do this section here, I'm trying to check my watch without dropping the gimbal. It is currently 7:48 in the morning. So I think we're still a little while away from things opening up, but it means that we do have Narai Juku peacefully to ourselves, with a considerably different view on the way back than we had on the way in. With the level of mountain back there being different, we've got blue skies, sun up now. And so having the chance to go out to Italy, like now, I'm still trying to hone in my espresso skills kind of casually, you know, not super serious about it. I've had a fund for the last couple of years to put together, to save up for like a really nice espresso machine with a consistent grinder attached to it and everything. And I kind of refuse to get it until I can get at least good espresso off of my cheap machine. Because I'm like, you know, having a better machine isn't gonna magically make my skills better. So I need to be able to work within the limitations that I have. And then when I get good at that, then I can allow myself to kind of level up. So you should do a video of learning espresso with Yo-chan. Yo-chan can't stand espresso. Yo-chan is a pour over drip coffee guy, a purist, if you will. He has so much love for his style of coffee. I brought up the topic of espresso with him once, and he was just like, just shut it down. He's like, nope, no espresso in here. So, but he does roast some pretty good espresso beans. But I have not gotten good enough at using them. There's a brand of Japanese coffee beans that escapes me at the moment that I use that are just wonderful. And I'm able to get kind of like a sweetness out of them, I would say, for 3 out of 4 espressos that I make. So not too bad. I've taken so many screenshots of your videos, have a dedicated folder just for them. The shots, the time that you take them are absolutely beautiful. Well, that is the goal. I want to have something nice and picturesque that we can all just kind of enjoy, and it's why I like to come out early in the morning before the people hit it, so we can just explore and have a good time together. And I keep going into Yoda mode. I found a beautiful private onsen yesterday, and it was only like 10 bucks. Not even with the exchange rate, it was basically free because the Japanese yen is getting obliterated, so everything's free. Japan's having a fire sale, guys. And is Norm a Tim Hortons fan? Yes, but in the sense that it's like just kind of a necessity. Like, it's not a necessity, but you know, a farmer's wrap in the morning for breakfast, or you know, a double. It's not good coffee, but it's coffee. It's like, if you want good coffee, go get good coffee. If you want Timmy's, you want Timmy's. So grab yourself a double and some Timbits, use up those toonies and loonies, grab yourself a set of serviettes, toss on your toque, grab your toboggan, and just give her. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that probably only the Canadians understood the vast majority of that. If you're not Canadian, how much of what I just said do you understand? Here we go. I feel like this space deserves another punch in. Yeah. There's a lot of those in there. A lot of people were like, I didn't understand a word that you just said. Yeah, you don't think of Canada being a place that has its own language, but you know, it is. So I was talking about going to Timmy's to grab a double with and some Timbits with your toonies and loonies. That is going to Tim Hortons local coffee shop. Grab a double, 2 milk, 2 sugar, large coffee, and some Timbits that are kind of donut holes to use up your toonies and loonies, your $2 and $1 coins. So, what is the best espresso cafe in Tokyo area? And Tim Hortons equals American 7-Eleven coffee. What is the best espresso cafe in the Tokyo area? Believe it or not, the best espresso I have had in Tokyo so far, very, very weirdly for all the different places I've tried, has been Excelsior Cafe in front of Akihabara Station. Their espresso is actually quite good. They must have had somebody really skilled dial in the machine and just leave it on that setting, because consistently every time I go, it's moderately sweet. And Chris Yamagata in here, keeping that super chat ball rolling. Thank you so much. Saying again, my lucky day to come home to alive. Hi everyone. Hi Norm. How's it going, Chris? Good to see you in here. Thank you so much. Get the birds up here. Vibe Village. Yeah, sounds about right. And now, like, we got more people around. The swallows are just spectacular, like, just hanging out. What's up? How you doing? A little itchy? Got so much to say. What is up, guys? Your face is covered in stuff, bro. Gorgeous little birds. Yeah, they are excitable. See right here, this is the kanji that you want to look for if you're looking for coffee. Right here. But this is the English you want to look for if you want to be heartbroken. Right here. And I'm going to need to take the drive back to Tokyo within today. And one of the little kind of treats I give myself at the end of one of these trips is to do like a no cameras swing. I have a no cameras just swing by to one or two of my favorite thrift stores along the way. And if I'm able to squeeze it in, I always enjoy that because the giant Japanese thrift stores that you get outside of Tokyo are just some of the best. There we go. Absolutely beautiful morning here in Narai Juku. And yes, I knew someone would say thrift stream, but that is why I say no cameras. After a while, you just want to turn it off, enjoy your day, and just, you know, connect with nature, connect with thrift, connect with the thrift stores on an excellent kind. I'm not even gonna. You guys should not be hanging out on the road. There is a bus coming. You're gonna be, dude. You guys are like stuntmen, all of you. Now I will say that not thrifting, but there may be a secret live stream. There may potentially, not guaranteed, be a secret, unannounced, impromptu, last-minute live stream at some point in the next 48 hours. Who knows? It will not be announced in advance. It will just pop up, and it may not stay up. It may just be a stream for us to have a quick hangout, wrap things up. It will be at a moderately consistent time if it happens, but you will need to make sure that your notifications are on and working. If you are concerned about your notifications, I would say grab a little content time on your screen, and it usually signifies YouTube like, oh, okay, this person is enjoying this channel. We'll make sure to give them a notification when it goes live. And one for all in here, keeping that super chat ball rolling, saying, do any of the places you visit give Shenmue vibe? Where's Shenmue? Is that from, I gotta, somebody let me know what it is. I feel like I know it. I can't remember. Oh, is it a game? I feel like it's a game. I haven't played it, but I feel like it's a game. Am I accurate? Yes, it was a video game series. I knew it. Thank you. And again, I feel like we just, every to the post office, we got to punch in. Just like this right here. Just like this, the soul lonely traveler. Just walking up the hill. Love it. It is shaking the heck out of the screen and the gimbal. Ohayou gozaimasu. I really like this rusted old sign here. Shenmue is a game originally for the Dreamcast. Wow. Okay. Did not realize it went back that far. And so, with all that being said, this has been one heck of an adventure. 1,000,000 seconds, 11 days, traveling Japan, and sharing streams and videos with you guys every single day. And really, with 10 to 11 additional videos in the backlog, this means we are only at about the halfway point in terms of that. The streams, unfortunately, have come to an end, but at a moderately regular schedule, the remaining content, would you please focus on this guy? Why are you so bright? The remaining content will be coming out. Alistair in here, how's it going? And I just looked it up. It is illegal for you to go to the thrift store without a camera. Glad to catch my second live stream after missing many. And Kirsten in here. TOKYOLENS Explorer, did you catch the super chat from Twilight Ninja X? Yes, I will get that in a second. I thank you so much. I do often miss stuff. I saw that one come in. I do want to say though that with the last 11 days have not been without their challenges, but every single second has been worth it, and you guys have made this absolutely incredible. So I want to give a huge thank you to every single person who's been here for it. Is at this point, morning guys. It's at this point that I want to give some love and thanks to Twilight Ninja X in there for wrapping things up with one giant beautiful super chat. Insanely kind of you. Nothing but love and gratitude. Keep your eyes open for the official video. I still am toying with the idea of doing a 1,000,000 seconds through Japan challenge that may yield wonderful prizes. I hope you guys have had as good a time as I have. And this wraps it up. This is it. It's the end of 1,000,000 seconds across Japan. Thank you guys to every one of you who's been here every day, to all of you who have watched after. Please let me know what you thought of this adventure, what your favorite area was, all that in the comments when the video goes live. If there are any videos you haven't caught, go catch up. Hit me up in the comment section. I would love to get back to Tokyo and have a slew of comments to catch up on. So if you really want to show some love and appreciation, just leave something in the comments for me. Give me some reading material for my driving breaks. Thank you guys all for being the wonderful people that you are. Yes, it is me. I see what you do in there. Can't wait for the next 1,000,000 seconds, sneaking in yet another super chat at the 11th hour. They're like passing stuff from window to window. It's only slightly shady. And I will see you guys again real soon. Okay, you guys should probably know by this point that that was not the ending. Oh, I was not paying attention and fell off a ledge there. That would have been a great ending. Would have been the best ending ever. And Sparky Santos sneaking in one more, saying thank you again, Sparky. Thank you. Thank you to everybody who's in here. It's been a great time. I am just trying to scroll through, making sure I didn't miss anything in the last second. Didn't fool as many people this time. I fooled quite a few people yesterday. Yesterday's stream, I just like left for a few minutes, and then I probably won't do that today, so don't expect it. Also, Jacko, how you been? Jacko in here. One last strong super chat in here saying, for all your hard work and effort, thank you so much, Norm. Until I get there, your streams are a blessing and so beautiful to watch, as well as Rowan Waters. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Rowan Waters. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you guys so much. Leave me something in the comments. Give me some break reading material on my drive. I will see you guys again real soon. Okay, I figure we keep going just a little tiny bit more. Like we're almost at the end of the street, right? It'd be, you know. And one more from Shileli in here saying, so it's been a great adventure. Stay safe walking. Isn't it wonderful that we get to, you know what's weird? Let me tell you something that is just really like, huh, to me. Almost every single place we've gone has had this noise, this like trimming the grass, like really, like everywhere we've gone, every beautiful location I've hit on this entire trip, I swear to God, it's the same guy following me. He's the human incarnation of that crow that was following us the other day. Chris Lesser, thank you so much. Gratitude for these videos, thank you. All right, we're gonna punch in, and that's how you know that we're wrapping up. Thank you guys, and I'll see you soon. All the trucks are just kind of leaving for the morning, and I figured, you know, I'm standing here still, so why not bring you guys along with me? That dude's cool. He's got his sunglasses. You say I fooled no one, but that dropped off like 100 people, so I think I fooled some people. I think I fooled a small percentage at least. And like, look at that tree out there, like that one. I like that tree. And Rowan Waters in here once again. Thank you so much for the super sticker. You probably fooled some people. It's like a giant bonsai, it really is. It really is. There we go. Last car for the day. And guys, oops. Okay, apparently it wasn't last car. Apparently we just got like construction crew coming through now. Well, that's a romantic way to end the stream. Isn't it beautiful? It's just real life happening. That's just, wow, you're turning into there. Just going for it. Chelfie as well. In here with a super sticker, and Chris saying you've inspired me to make a lifelong dream come true. Thank you so much for these streams. Thank you so much. And Spam Bacon Sausage, why do I always end up in your live streams? I'm glad to have you here, really am. And guys, honestly, just, oh, I got more cars coming behind me. Guys, it's starting to pick up. So with that, honestly, please leave me something in the comments. And don't forget,